So 16 on the low string, not the A, but on the C, and then 16 again on the next string with your third, 16 again on the D with your third, and then you're going to move to your first finger, and you're going to bar this across the next three. But you want to make sure you roll it. So... And then I'm just doing this, a minor third, sorry. Yeah, there's a pretty bad lag here. I hope you guys are getting this kind of. You want me to? I'm not gonna go get my 8 string. Okay, that's that's a little bit gnarly. But yeah, so you're just doing a sweep just like that. If you guys have any questions about that, go ahead and ask me right now, and I'll answer them. It's really simple. The main point... Oh, hey, what's up, Ernest? So the main point of it is just having that fluidity, and you don't want to... You don't want the notes to ring into each other, but at the same time, you definitely don't want them to be disjoint. So, I don't like using a metronome, personally, and I know that's terrible, so what I do is I use drums, because I have a drum machine type thing, and it's more fun. Makes it more entertaining, and it's not as boring as the same click click. So I'll show you guys a few things just with that sweep. So just really simple stuff, but you can see how I'm incorporating it, and yeah, I know, Anthony, right? It's just, it gives you a headache after a while of doing too much with a metronome, so I tend to like using a drum machine more. It makes it more fun too, and you can really groove it more, and you can customize it a little bit. Plus, you gotta get used to it anyway, right? So, that's kind of one of my methods of practicing. And for when you do turnarounds, sorry, I keep bumping my guitar over here. When you do turnarounds, that's when you basically, when you're going up, you come back down. It's turning around the direction. You can either do a hammer-on, or you can pick it. If you're gonna stop there, I really think that you should pick it, because it'll get more definition, like that. If you want to kind of just do it as a passing thing, I hate you, Aaron. I hate you. Then you could, even if you want to start there as your pinky, you can start as a tap too. But anyway, Matt wants to hear chugs. Anyway, yeah, I have tried to do it on bass Phillip, actually, believe it or not, and I can do it a little bit, but it's more with planting. So what you do for that is you plant your fingers where you're going to be going next. It might sound weird on guitar, but it's kind of quieter. Let me switch to a clean channel and you can hear it a little better. It's pretty sweet, and obviously on a bass it's going to sound a lot nicer, unless you're doing some jazzy type stuff. It sounds really good on clean too. On distortion, not so much. So, yeah, what I was saying is about turnaround, sorry, got sidetracked. You can either do hammer-ons and pull-offs. Wow, that was awful. Like that. But I don't like doing just those because they sound sloppier. Because when you do it, you have to emphasize, and then when you're there, you have to start the pick here on the next string up. So, Yeah, hybrid's really good. That's more for picking, like that kind of stuff. But I'm not a huge fan of it. I can do it a little bit, but I don't know. I'd rather do alternate because I like being able to do string skipping, that kind of stuff. So when you do the turnaround, I like to pick it like that. It just sounds more defined. And then you get that more emphasis on that high note where it just like really punches and stuff. And I think it sounds a lot better, especially if you're doing like metal-y type stuff. I don't really want to run this too long because I know people are going to get bored. I'm already losing people watching, I think. But anyway, so that's for a big sweep. That's all 6 strings. I mean, this is a 7, and you could do it on 7 if you wanted. But like I said, it's a much bigger bar. For me, it uses half of my 3rd fucking finger. And then when I come down, I end up rolling really far. Anthony has a quick question. Whenever I do my leads or sweeps during practice in my band, it gets hard to hear them, especially in the higher pitched strings. Any idea what could cause that? See more. Hold on. 1 second. It's not letting me see more. Okay. The things that might cause that, it's probably intonation. I could be wrong, but if your strings are too low, then you're going to get a lot more dead fretting, and it's going to be a lot less audible. The other thing could be if it's just sheer volume, you just take your pickup and try and raise it up a little bit. It might be that your pickup's skewed down, and so it's not as hot down here as it is on the lower strings. So try raising up your pickups a little bit. That could help it. Otherwise, I don't know. I would think that would help. Another thing you can do is make sure your tone knob is all the way up. I know how stupid that sounds, but when you have that really low, it does quiet it down because it cuts off all that sharp end, and it's a mistake I've even made at practices, so, See graphic EQ. That's true, too. 3rd finger, yep. I know, I hate using it, and I hate using my pinky, but without it, man, it's a lot harder to play this stuff. Yeah, if you guys want to hear me gent more, I can do some more stuff. Proper aunt parent, yeah. Anyway, though, yeah, no problem. If you guys have questions, just type them in. I mean, I'm not going to be here for super long, so I want to hear them. Anyway, I'm going to give you guys one more shape. So, that was a minor. The whole... Yep, gotta use the pinky. I really need to warm up before I do these things. Now I know. Another shape you can do, I'm gonna give you a major one this time because it's cooler to have major and minor, so you're not always just doing minor sweeps because those do get old. So, same key, if we're gonna stay in this F sharp minor is kind of what I'm calling it, even though technically that's not what it is. I just think of it that way. Really what this would be in is a D minor. Unless you do go to the 3rd. So, all that is, I'm blabbing, sorry. So, start on the 12th on the A string with your pinky. And then you're going to do your 3rd finger on the 11th on the next string. 1st finger on the 9th on the next string. And then your 2nd finger on the 10th on the next string. 1st finger on the 9th on the high string. And then you can hammer on to 12 or pick it. And so that's a major sweep. And technically you'd be doing that on the 3rd of the minor scale that I'm playing right here. And I mean, you could do it in other places. It's just right here is a good spot to be practicing at. And for anyone that does want to do taps, I'm not really gonna go over too much, but if you did this one, you could tap on the 17th. Um, okay, so for practicing sweeps, in all honesty, it's just doing it. I know how stupid that sounds, and people are like, you know, well, what if it sounds really sloppy? First thing, for me at least, is I had to get my picking hand perfect. So, what I mean by that is have a metronome or have the drum machines, whatever you do, and just make sure this is even. Thanks for asking questions. I'm late to the party. Can you touch base on picking hand aspect of sweeping? That's where I get snagged. That's exactly where I was just going, actually. So, you know, for when you have the metronome going, try and get your picking hand in perfect timing with it. And that's more important than your fretting hand at this point. Because when you're starting, the newest thing isn't moving your fingers. You've been playing guitar. The new thing is moving your pick as fast as your hand for instant singular motions. Okay, so I'll kind of show you an example. Start off really simple, just like that, just like little eighth notes and stuff. And which sweep did you learn first time on my hand? The first sweep I learned, I think, was just like a really simple minor. It was actually just that one. Hold on, there's a long comment here. Let me get a hold of this. So what do you say to an old guy getting brittle fingers to move better? I'm finding pain in playing when I play fast. I know picking my right hand is... Okay, so if you're having pain playing, first of all, make sure you ice your hand, because any damage you do is pretty much permanent. You want to be careful about that. What I always take, like I take this daily, is I take something that's called glucosamine. It's something that basically lubricates your joints, and it makes it so that it's not as painful to play really fast and overuse your fingers and stuff like that. In simple, there's probably someone that can explain it a lot better than I can, but it does help noticeably. When I don't take it, it makes my hands hurt, and yeah. So I would recommend using some glucosamine. Just take it every day. Anyway, the sweep I was doing here is just the first. So, what's the most difficult sweep pattern you've learned? Most difficult one? You know, that's an interesting question. The most difficult one I've learned was, like, not difficult in the sense of playing as it was separating my pinky and my third finger. And I know how weird that sounds, but it was kind of like, yeah, no problem, Philip. It was actually this one. I use it in one of my songs, Awakened, during the, what is it? That. And it's just because it's a really weird pattern, because it's 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4. So it uses every single finger, and it's a really weird combination of them. Chase has got it down. He knows exactly what to say, man. My favorite sweep I put together myself. My favorite sweep that I put together myself. Man, you guys are gonna run me out of stuff to do. I'm gonna be doing these every week, so I'm gonna try and slow down a little bit here for everyone that's late to the party. So basically, for the coolest thing, my favorite scale is actually the Lydian scale, and that's the 6th of the minor scale. So I really like that. It just has a really interesting and methodic, I don't know, not methodic, like mystical kind of feel to me. I don't know. Exotic-y, but not too much. It's cool. Thanks. We're paying you for a reason. Take off your shirt.